Okay, let's do the boom. Hello, I'm new.
Are we resorting to comedy hour now? Obviously. Gravity. La La Land is reserved for special people that double speak, that say open is closed, closed is open. La La Land, we are in La La Land. Gravity. Obviously. La La Land, La La Land, La La Land, we are in La La Land. Gravity, gravity, obviously.
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin.
Boom.
Boom.
Welcome to Round Earth Day. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. From Florida to the YouTube universe, this is Jose JG Boom. Happy to be here with all of you in Discord and YouTube. If you are in Discord, we will be on the Daily Boom Discord server. The chat box will be the Daily Boom Uncensored, and the voice chat will be YouTube Live, will be up shortly. Hit the like button if you're watching this live or recorded. If it is the 13th of October of 2022, and I say boom, then you're watching this live. If not, you are watching this. Leave a comment in the comment section if you're watching this recorded, so anything that you wanted to say in the live chat, you throw it in the comment sections. Or if you're watching, lurking in the background, you're not subscribed, you gotta subscribe for at least 5 minutes in order to type something in the chat box. So if you want to hang out in the chat box and you will have a range also, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have a range, which is 99% of the participants in this channel, you will be able to check on other people's channels and post links that are necessary to the discussion happening in real time. So check it out. Join us in the Daily Boom Discord server and support the channel. Give me money. I can say give me money for bills like the internet and electricity. And that is a fact. That's what I need the money for. And I hope that you guys can support. But if you want me to use the money for like alcohol, drugs, and hookers, I will say that I will use it for that. Even though I'm going to use it for the bills. If you say, I cannot give you money for bills, I can give you money for drugs, alcohol, and hookers. I'll take the money. Thank you very much. I appreciate everybody's support. This is my resting green face. Resting green face. I feel like that sometimes. Well, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. We have Farmer's Boy 2, Real Cygnus. Yo, bros. Fred Bailey is in the house. Are you old, Fred Bailey? Just asking. Jim's Mine is here. Zebulon 181. What is the 181? The universe where you live in? Today is Flat Earth. Bring the evidence day. Oh, that's a lot to ask for, man. We have Dan the Waterman out of nowhere with a YouTube link. Who knows what's in there? I ain't clicking it. That's not even a YouTube link. Wow. Good day, good day. Jomongus is first. Jomongus, I know that you were first. I see you here. You typed in first. You are first. There's no argument there. RT96 with a explosion. He say boom. Did you say boom? I'm just putting words in your mouth now. Well, I like that people is already hit the like button. If you haven't done it, hit the like button like Zebu just did. Kuso, boom. How do you say boom in Spanish? Welcome to all the sane people out there and to all the flat earthers. Keep banging the rocks together, guys. Greetings and salutations for Doc C. Greetings to Doc C. Why don't we do something special, right? I already kind of threw the intro, but the intro is very loosely. We still don't know what the show is about. If you're watching this for the first time, or I invited you, I say, go watch the show, which is like nobody recently. But if you're watching the show now, live, in real time, I'm gonna open the channel and we're gonna welcome people and hopefully you can understand what's going on. Which you can be part of it. There's a Discord link in the description box where everybody can join. I'm also gonna post it here somewhere in the YouTube for you to join. And we're gonna talk about topics of interest, entertaining topics of interest. You know what I mean? There's a link on YouTube with the Discord. You can click that and you'll be part of the Discord. All right, let's open the voice chat. Come over here and tell us if for the new people and the people that don't follow the channel on the daily basis, what do we do here? What should we do? I titled the show Present Your Case. Oh, that's a good point. We can do that. You can join and present your case. We got the first super chat of the day by Leo. Leo. Choo, 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 choo. I just want to see if the notification pops up. Shout out to Leo, $10. Hell yeah, man. I'll take him. Thank you, Leo. NASA has just informed me that 2023 will be the year of the flat earth and frogs. Oh, no, the flat earth. I got another point. So 2023, as informed by NASA, will be the year of the flat earth. And frogs will inherit the earth. Whoa. And also, it will be the year we all should appeal to Farmer's Boy. Shout out to Leo. Farmer's Boy is in the house. Shout out to you, Leo. Thank you for the $10. Thank you for the information. What do you think about that information? Was that information supposed to see the day of light, man? The light of day?
I'm not sure, but I'd just like to welcome our new frog overlords. Because it sounds like they're going to be in charge, according to Leo.
With that, you know I'm going to have the squeaky earth, right?
Oh, do it now. Let me just turn my headset up. Come on.
I didn't forget. I waited for this special moment. Mob it.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. We like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, man, for coming in.
We like the squeaky earth.
Right. I thank you very much.
Let me just turn my headset up. Come on. I didn't forget.
Louis, what the hell, man? Are you new? Hey, hello, I'm new too.
Yeah, Louis is new.
What the hell are you new?
Louis hadn't muted the YouTube feed.
New people coming in.
Dear, oh dear. So much for them to learn.
I heard that something very important just happened. Joe Mongoose touched my PP.
He's not the only one.
Thank you very much. Farmer's Boy touched my PP. Whoa, I see,
Oh,
I
yeah.
see.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see you, Farmer's Boy. Farmer's Boy says with a big support in PayPal. Thank you, Farmers. I appreciate that, brother.
Hey, no worries.
It helps a lot, man. Use this as you will. Not sure how much blow it will buy you.
I don't know what $20 gets you.
I know, man. Hey, you know what? It's America. It's North America. Anything happens over here.
I'm sure you can get something for $20. I'm just not sure what.
I'm telling you. And your Mongus that hit me up also supported very nicely on PayPal. Thank you, Mongus. And there's a comment that I would like to read. I'm gonna copy and paste it too. Audience will not see it, but it will be in Discord. I will try to read it my best so it makes sense. I gotta take my time.
Okay.
Process.
You've already slipped that caveat in.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to. All right, Jomongo says, the other day, your guests made the show phenomenal. That's very nice, Jomongus. Yesterday, you had a guy telling us about how he multiplies by 5, and another guy telling us how he bought his first Judas Priest album. That's very interesting. Boring. That's what he say. Can we keep these guys quiet so they don't ruin a good time? Maybe you can create a backup channel for stories from the 70s. God bless and let's have a great show. Thank you very much, Jumangus, for that very solid feedback about how you think it should go down. Well, farmers, tell me about it.
I don't remember anybody telling a tale about how they bought their first Judas Priest album. I don't remember that.
I kind of remember. I mean, I kind of remember hearing that name mentioned.
What, Judas Priest? No, I don't remember that. You can't be talking about me because I'm not exactly a huge fan of them.
Now, let's be real. If I get sponsored by WD-40, depends how much money they give me. You gotta be a lot of money. I might sponsor them and test it with the squeaky earth.
Oh,
man. Yeah, it's a tough call.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good, would it?
Well,
be squeaky anymore.
Well, I can do the commercial and I can do the promo, and then I'll just throw it back in the dirt and wash it up and clean it up. Leave it in the sun for a few days after the rain, and it'll be all back in business. 3 days, I give it.
That's true. Yeah.
Shit.
There must be some way cleaning WD-40 off.
Yeah, I just do the commercial. Yeah, and after I'll do that. I put the WD-40 on. It be water in the container. It will sound as it doesn't sound, but that's it. It will dry up again. It happens every time it rains.
Just because you see something in the commercial, quite often when they're showing you ice cream, apparently it is actually mashed potato because it doesn't melt under the lights. But all you can see is what you can see. You can't touch it, taste it, smell it. So quite often, certainly when they're advertising food, they lie. They're not showing you what they're claiming to show you. So yeah, who's to say you haven't just got water in the can that's labelled WD-40?
Leo for another $5 super chat. Shout out to Leo. I forgot, NASA also said that 2023 will be the year that Jose's pee-pee will fall off from being touched so much. Oh no!
Oh.
Leo.
That sounds nasty.
Oh, that's like what's the last book of the Bible like? It give you all the all the bad shit. Revelations or some shit like that.
Revelations, I think it is, isn't it? Yeah.
It's like a quote out of Revelations, like predicting or some shit like that.
If you touch your pee-pee too much, it'll drop off.
Oh, hell no.
Wow.
So accurate. That's why it scares me so much. Shout out to Citizen 9. Biggest Douglas.
Clean it off with WD-10.
Yeah. That's it. But
Go on, go for it.
I watched a video from Jesse that talk to us here sometimes.
Oh yeah. It does survey and stuff.
What's the channel name? I cannot find it by Jesse.
Is
Jesse.
it from Jesse?
From
Jesse.
Jesse. Okay.
From Jesse, yeah.
There you go. From Jesse. And sorted out by channels. Let's see. Sorted out by channel, and maybe it'll be here.
Okay, Mr. Victor's Radio. Who here is a boomer?
What
I'm
is
not.
a boomer? What is an age thing, right?
It's the age bracket. It's those who were born in the sort of the decade or two after the war, where there was a baby boom. You know.
So what's the age bracket? Or the years or whatever.
It's. I think it covers sort of late 40s, 50s, possibly just into the 60s. That sort of bracket.
See?
And then after that would be the likes of you and me, Jose, because I believe we're Generation X.
How about that?
I'd be surprised if we've actually got any boomers in here at the moment.
What will be the new generation called? It's gonna be a new category.
It went boomers, Gen X, Gen Y, millennials.
Where does Gen X extends to? What year?
Gen X. I can't remember without googling it, but I think it certainly goes well into the 70s. It might even go into the early 80s.
Okay, then I'm
Gen
Gen
Y. Yeah, Gen Y would be that sort of gap up to the the turn of the century sort of thing. Then you get the millennials because it's the start of the new millennium. And I can't remember what they call the ones now because there is another one. I think I can't remember. But yes, I'm a Gen Xer.
Gen Y 1980 to 1995. Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Then it'll be the millennials, wouldn't it?
Probably. But in the French Wikipedia, the Gen Y are called the millennials because they were teenagers during the new millennium. I think we don't apply the same logic as you do.
Oh no, yeah, Gen Y is the millennials. That's right. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Let me just say that Among Us, who posted this thing that Jose read?
Jomongus.
Among Us. I don't think its next comments going in the next show going to be so settled.
And
Shout to Chag, that's funny.
I
I didn't understand what you say, but I understand the tone, and I know it's something. I don't know. That was funny to me.
I'm already bored.
Oh man! Well, bring it on.
Boomers has nothing to do with age.
Okay. Oh no.
Has to do with baby booms.
Yes, the baby boomers.
What, the baby booms? There's only one baby boom.
What the hell is that? What?
Well, I was born in Israel during the baby boom, but our birth rate is in decline since I don't know when. So I can't be a baby boomer.
They were called boomers after the so-called baby boom,
In
which was
the United States.
Not just in the United States.
Oh, you go and read it. Because I think now there's baby boom in Africa. Who calls them boomers?
It does refer to a specific time just after the war. Because it happened over here as well.
What has to do with wars?
Oh, for fuck's sake. It's like talking to flat earth with you sometimes.
Affected three main regions: the US, Europe, and Japan.
Yep.
Well, I'm not in neither of them, so.
Yeah,
No.
it corresponds to.
So what?
So my age fits, my region doesn't.
Yeah, and
And so it's nothing to do with age, is it?
well, yes, it is. It's that period of time. That's what we've labelled that period of time now. Tough shit. Get on with it.
No, it's
Just
that's the label of period of time now.
yes, yeah. People born during that time were known as baby boomers, and they are known as
And
baby
why?
boomers
What for?
because there was a baby boom after the war. There was a definite
Where
We just said that. I'll tell you, it's like you're
so
like a fucking flat
fucking
earther sometimes.
Americans can be boomers.
No,
Yes.
not just Americans.
You
Not
argue too much,
just-
you know?
I'm sorry. Don't let truth get in the way of a good argument. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh, pulling the truth card, man. Pulling the truth card.
It isn't just an American term. It wasn't just applied to America. Sorry.
Yeah, those years were a time of so-called great prosperity that led to a boom in the population. People wanted to make babies. In fact, in my country, those years were called the 30 great, the 30 glorious years. And maybe they were not glorious in your country, but does that mean it doesn't apply to so many regions of the world that it tend to be noticeable?
It also happens in China.
Yeah, of course.
During what time?
But when we refer to boomers and baby boomers, it is generally that immediate post-war period when there was a very definite boom in birth rates.
I'm gonna ask
the war finished.
Gonna ask a clarification question. I'm gonna ask a clarification question. But first, I'm gonna read a super chat by Lel. But I wanna say shout out to Sean Smith. Okay, he's new. Hello, I'm nude. New. Oh, I'm confused there, Sean. Yeah, I thought you said nude, but it's new. Yeah, you got it. Lel for $10 super chat. Lel, thank you very much, man. He's got a question. Jose, if we go through another ice age, will Dan the Waterman become Dan the Snowman? Whoa, that's a great question, Lel. I was waiting for that question to be asked, and the answer is Louis have the answer for that question. I'm just gonna let him take the lead. Louis, what do you think?
What's the question?
If we go through another ice age, will Dan the Waterman become Dan the Snowman?
That would be cool.
Yeah, Dan the Snowman.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Well, it sounds better than Dan the Iceman. Just can't think of him as the Iceman. He's just not that cool.
Yeah, Dan the Iceman. It sounds like a superhero.
But if he
isn't.
If it's Dan the Snowman, then he wouldn't be able to participate, or his powers wouldn't work in places that don't snow. It might be iced, everything, but it doesn't have to be snowing. So that's a little close to, Dan the Snowman. No, his powers wouldn't work where there's snow. It's going to be a lot of places. If you want to take that title, I think that in the next Ice Age, Dan can be Dan the Snowman. Thank you very much.
RT96 raises a very good point. Does snow find its own level?
That is a great question, Chai. Does snow find his own level? Snow?
I don't know. It doesn't snow here often, I can tell you.
If
No,
the
it's
snow
not.
is-
No.
Good. If there's no impediments when the snow hits, it will be level. If it's just evenly snowing in a big square miles patch of land. If there's no impediments, because then if you got impediments like a little leaf popping up like higher, then the snow is gonna click. It's gonna make a little mountain. and then as it keeps snowing, it keeps getting the mountain higher. So the snow mountain. So no, it doesn't find
When the
its level.
snow melts, it will find its own level.
That's the point. But shout out to Pronon for being a responsible troll for almost a year now, 8 months. Boom, Pronon.
Wow.
Now, when the snow melts, it will find its own level, but then it will stop being snow. So, but we're talking about the snow as that, as being snow, not water nor gas.
Snow is just another form of water. When it melts, it will find its own level. Simple.
That is true, 100%. But when it's snow, I don't think it finds its own level. I'm not talking about when it turns to water. I'm talking about snow. Let's see how much we can go around with this. No, you understand, yeah. Do you agree with me? If there's an impediment, a little house, then snow will be accumulating and it will be uneven on not level.
Yeah, when it's snow, it's just not a liquid form of water, so it won't flow until it melts. But then it will find its level.
There you go, farmers. That's all the information you need.
Well, he's right. Water does find its own level because gravity.
The gravity car has been pulled, Gary.
Yeah.
What about lakes? Why don't they flow down into the ocean with their landlocked lakes?
What's
Gravity
down?
keeps them up in the mountain, so they won't go down.
What's down? Why
They'll
would they
flow to where
magically
they're
go down?
contained. They'll fill that up, then they'll overflow that, go down to the next level, and they'll keep making their way down to the ocean. It'll find its own level ultimately if it has an outlet.
Yeah, but why is it going down?
Because that's the way heaven and earth were created. Earth is down, heaven's up. God created it that way.
Well, that didn't.
And
take
it's obvious
very long,
for
did
all
it?
to see.
Of course.
Well, it's obvious.
Oh, of course it is. Yeah, it's obvious. Yeah. What got played quicker, the gravity card or the God card?
The snow rises to eye level when, for the horizon.
If it builds up long enough, yeah.
What
Especially
came
if the wind's
first,
blowing
mass
it
or
trips.
gravity? What came first, mass or gravity?
Mass.
How did you get mass without gravity?
You don't need gravity to have mass. You need gravity to have weight.
No, according to your model, gravity grabbed all the little particles out in space after the Big Bang and formed balls.
Really?
Thomas,
Did it?
You had to have gravity to form a ball, right?
Yeah,
No.
Thomas, don't argue with Gary about your model.
Oh, sorry.
knows
Right,
better.
yes. I won't argue with Gary about his understanding of our model. You're right. Sorry, that's silly of me.
Is that an issue, Gary, when flat earthers and the globe skeptics try to explain the globe, they misrepresent a lot of things? Do you agree with that?
Ask farmers, boys, where gravity started. How did gravity? Where did it come from? Where did it start?
With a sufficient mass.
So the mass had to be there before you had gravity.
Well, if you ain't got any mass, you're not getting any gravitational effect, are you?
How did you get gravity? How did you get the mass
Really?
that formed the mysterious gravity?
Oh, that's right. Your God made it, didn't he? It.
Well, he didn't make gravity. He made up and down and buoyancy and.
He made up and down. Oh, he made buoyancy.
But no. Answer the question though. Where did this mysterious gravity come from? You have to have mass to have gravity in your model. So where did the mass come from?
Well, with the formation of the universe over billions of years.
And you can show that, right?
Oh, yeah,
you don't even know. You have no clue of your own model.
The creation of our universe from my back pocket, yes, just in the same way that you can show me your God created up and down.
In other words, you can't show it, but the sheer complexity of everything we see shows there's a creator.
You can't show your creator,
including your eyeball. Your eyeball shows there's a creator.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It was literally impossible.
You can't show
it's literally impossible to have evolved.
Well,
No,
Thomas,
no,
you
you.
can't.
Oh no! Don't tell me you're a
You-
creationist, because that would
Of course,
be
he's a fucking creationist.
that's the worst. That's the worst part.
Oh, that's tip of the iceberg.
Thomas.
There's nothing yet.
Thomas, you
Sorry,
can't
yes.
you can't show the creator directly, but you can show his effects. Effects are gravity.
I know.
So don't ask to see the like
I mean,
you don't see
the
you
whole,
don't see the curvature, you see its effect, right? You don't see the creator, you see its effect. You see gravity, it's an effect of creator. Don't get it.
Oh, excuse me. If it's a clear night, I might be able to see the Chinese space station.
I just wanted to interject here.
Also effect.
Hold on, check.
The smallest object known to have its gravitational pull measured was like a gold ball, about 2 millimeters wide, with a mass about 90 milligrams. So yeah, even small objects can have a gravitational pull.
I heard about that article. I think we talked about it, and I got some information right now about the article. Leal for $5 says, "Damn, that's a segue." The better question should be, right? The better question will be: does Dan the Waterman? The better question should be: does Dan the Waterman find his equitation equilibrium? Have you heard of equitation equilibrium? I know I'm butchering those words. I can pronounce it in different ways 20 times, and I don't know which one is correct.
I'm not entirely sure what he's getting at with that. An equitation equilibrium. Pass.
Huh. The little, I call it, I saw it as the smallest Cavendish experiment with a little gold ball, and they had a little vacuum, and they did something, the mass, the little ball, something like that. Did you hear about that, Gary? They did kind of a super tiny Cavendish type of thing.
I think that was a joke. Equitation has to do with the equestrian animals, so horses and stuff. So.
Okay.
They just gallop.
Hey, Gary. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jose.
No, it's all right. Go ahead.
Gary, how do you respond about the freshwater hydra and them having a proto eyeball as found in the fossil record?
Silence. Give it the benefit of the doubt. He might be busy.
When I've just that little image I've just posted, it shows all the developments of the eye, right from the bare basic. You've got some cells that can detect light, all the way up to the sort of eyeballs that we've got, and they all exist at this moment in time. So you can see how the eyeball evolves, because we can see all the different types from the very basic to the quite complicated, and they're all examples of evolution.
Let me take a closer look.
Oh, if you Google it, you can find all sorts of examples of this, but it shows you how the eye has evolved, and some animals have evolved very complex eyeballs like ours, and some haven't, because they just haven't got any further. They've got what they needed, and that's done them for, in some cases, millions of years.
Am I still correct that the freshwater hydra was the first proto eyeball back in the Precambrian period, or have they pushed it back?
It does ring a bell, but who knows? Because they're, the more you look, the more you find. They might have made new discoveries, but that does sound familiar.
Shout out to the CGI on screen. It's very well done.
Yeah. I never want to see either of my eyeballs like that, because that means they've come out.
Yeah, especially if you see one with the other.
Yeah, blimey. I do get mine photographed fairly regularly, actually. Well, parts of them. The joys of being diabetic. They take photographs of your retinas and things, just to make sure everything's tickety-boo.
Why? I got a question for you guys. Why did humans didn't have some extra capabilities of doing stuff like you don't have to change nothing, just add like some people have a little longer arms, right? Longer fingers. They got an extra finger, a little tail, the tailbone, or an extra toe. Something like that, right? And you got little things popping out of your body, whatever, random shit. Why the humans they didn't have the capability of stretching the eyes, one eye, like the eyes stretching them like a foot long, a foot 12 inches off your head. So you pull the eye and you can like pinch it behind your ear. One eye looking back, one eye looking forward. You know?
Well, through the process of natural of evolution, I don't think that's ever happened. I mean, usually these things happen through mutation, and if it happens to be a good thing, then that can get passed on through the generations, and it becomes, part of your genetic makeup. Bad mutations tend not to be passed on.
Now,
But I don't think we've ever had a mutation that enabled us to do that in the first place, and I'm not entirely sure people would want to.
come on.
If you want to see what's going on behind you, just turn the fuck around. Look in the mirror.
Anybody have a better idea of what humans should have extra or altered in the bodies to be more efficient and something like doable, like what I say? Is it doable? I mean, I'll think about that.
I think that lays down the road of genetic engineering. I think that is something that will come in the future when they're allowed to how should we put this, play with genes a bit more.
I mean, it's like the people that fucking it, they twist their bodies and whatever. What's the word? The term? Contortionists.
Contortionists.
Yeah,
yes.
like contortionists. Their shoulder bones and the neck bone. They can almost twist their head all the way to the back, and they twist their backs and their legs go in weird ways. I mean, that's something. That's a skill, you see? Yeah.
Yes, I think that's generally because they've got stretched ligaments or however it is they do that. But that is that's outside of the norm. Most people can't do that. So that could almost be classed as a mutation.
Oh shit. Chike,
I mean,
you
you can see that our bodies have evolved over the years. Most of us have still got an appendix, but we don't really need it. At the end of our spine is what they call the tailbone, because at some point in our past we had tails.
Chike, what are the existing mutations today? And what's your favorite? And what would you like to exist as human mutation?
My favorite mutation is flat earther.
That's definitely not
Tell us why.
beneficial mutation.
Right. That's a regression, but it's still a mutation.
Yeah.
But does that count having less of a brain than others?
And the strange thing, they are still classified as Homo sapiens.
Oh shit.
Well, yes, because it's not a physical trait, is it? It's a psychological trait or a mental trait.
It's not a psychological. It's a mental development trait.
You know that those special that they grow with the big heart or the heart in a different place or without a lung or whatever, something strange in the body. So there's they small brains is something else. You got the big brains. How do you call it? There's a thing like with the big heads. Thickness at something there. So if you have small brains, you're probably gonna be flattered. Hydrocephalic, right? Hydrocephalic is the I know that's in Spanish, hydrocephalia, so something like that.
It's not just a swelling.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but I call that big brains.
Brain,
and then the small brains will be flat earthers. Pea-size. And then you got a total recall mutations type.
Did you ever see the old TV show with Stan Lee called Superhumans?
I watched a few episodes, yeah.
Don't think so, no.
Very interesting. Right on this topic.
Yeah, I watched dude can handle electricity, and I watched one with the deep math. I think it is genius in math, and they did a brain scan thing. And then when he does math using reading the brain scan, it's like he does it by instinct, like breathing or walking or something, eating, like something common. There's a different part of the brain didn't spark or didn't use a lot. It was so easy for him to do the math, like instinct. Fucking strange. I think that's because they downloaded a program with the mathematic program in the brain, matrix type of thing.
I have a weird question. I wrote it down so I could phrase it correctly and completely. Just like we have an arbitrary zero for latitude and longitude, granted, even if the Earth was like hit by a huge asteroid that would mess its rotation axis, blah 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 blah, we wouldn't change our maps overnight. Because we still need to keep a little bit of our sanity. We'll need to still be a little bit backwards compatible, Is there an arbitrary level that corresponds to sea level that ignores variations, in particular the ones that we can expect from global warmings in the forthcoming years, or do we constantly adjust for them and we just forget our old maps, or we have to take them with a grain of salt? Like when it says elevation 100 meters, I know it's 100 meters based on the zero when the map was made. Or do we keep some kind of an absolute zero that we do not deviate from, even if the water rises, even if the ocean rises?
You mean like sea level?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good question.
do we keep like an actual, this is our zero, even if tomorrow the oceans rise by 2 meters, this is zero, this is our zero?
This is
Well,
what
it depends.
happened.
It depends. I mean, will we be drowning when this is happening?
Yeah, I know we will have other kind of reason to be concerned, and but yeah, I don't know if to keep consistency and we just ignore variation, and if at one time in history we just set a zero at one moment and said when even if the ocean gets dry, lower or higher, we just ignore that and we make our map based on that level.
Of course, they do it all the time. United Kingdom has a datum they measure from that was established in, I don't know, the 50s, and they didn't change it since. They're not going to change the map every time. Even though they need to change the map all the time, they're not going to change all the datum. Go and write of them, update their elevations every year. It's not going to do it.
Yeah, is there a place where we can see like this place, like this is our zero right now? It's 2 meters under the sea, but it's our zero. Like in a museum, we would keep it next to the sea, but we would forbid people to touch it, but we would let them see it, something like that. No, I would find it fascinating. If I ever go to the UK, I would want to see that.
I don't think we've got that over here. I think you can go and visit the place where they established sea level. Oh God, I think it was back in around about the time of the First World War. I think it's in Cornwall. It's a place in Cornwall, and that's where the datum was set up that people like the Ordnance Survey used. Yeah, it's right down in the very sort of bottom western tip of the UK, Cornwall. God, what's it called? Newlyn, I think it's called. Now that's where we got
Right.
our datum for sea level from for many years. I think it might have been updated in recent years. I'm not sure.
I see there ordnance datum Newlin is 100-year-old today. It was in 2021, the
Oh,
article.
there you go then. Right. So yeah,
Ooh,
they did it just after the First World War.
thanks to you.
I think you can go and visit there. Don't quote me on it, but I suspect it might be, a bit of a visitor centre sort of thing.
Yeah, I was able to find it thanks to the name Cornwall, thanks to you.
Oh. Always like to be of service.
You take the credits.
We've had this discussion before, so these things tend to stick after a while. But
Oh,
yeah,
really?
that's where we set it up here in the UK. And obviously in America it would have been set up somewhere and so on and so forth. And obviously if you take an average of all of these all over the globe, then you'll get your average global mean sea level.
Okay.
But people tend to do it by the country. I think everything over here in the UK is set up from our, the one that the Ordnance Survey have derived from Cornwall.
Oh,
In America, the datum was set in Boston.
There you go. Yeah.
I was away. Did we already specify about the mutants?
We
Mutants?
seem to have moved on a little bit from the mutants. Yeah. There's no strontium dogs here.
Hashtag mutants lives matter.
Oh yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
As long as they're the other side of the wall.
And Lewis, for sailing, we use a 10-year time-weighted average in order to set MSL, and that's what we base the charts on. So they do change, but not for like 20 years until we get the new change in the average.
okay. Okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep that information, thanks.
I mean, okay, here you go. I just found a little snippet. There was a report published in 2020 here in the UK, and it said since 1901, the UK sea level had rose by 6.5 inches or 16.5 centimetres. So that's over the course of nearly 120 years.
Well, of course, you need a reference for that.
Yeah. So that would be referenced against the original datum that was established in Cornwall, I think. But that's really the only way you can do this is you need to have an established datum and use it over a period of time, years rather than months or weeks.
How does that correlate to like the height of mountains? I think the mountains, I could be wrong here, I'm no expert, but the height of mountains are certain number of meters above sea level. So if sea level rises, the mountain gets shorter.
Well, yeah, I suppose technically yes, because if you're comparing it against mean sea level and the sea level rises, then yeah, now that mountain isn't technically as high as it was before because that's the datum you're measuring against.
Unless the mountain grew during this period.
Mountains certainly in the larger mountain ranges, Everest and things in the Himalayas, they are still moving. Because
can they shrink?
Mountains shrink. Well, mountains tend to be formed when these crustal plates are pushing against each other, and they generally just carry on pushing against each other. So mountains, I think, tend to grow rather than shrink. Oh, they shrink through erosion, but that's a process that takes an awfully long time as well.
For example, the Appalachian Mountains are much older than the Rocky Mountains, which is why the Appalachian Mountains are rolling hills, where the Rocky Mountains are jagged peaks.
Yes, because I presume the Appalachians have had time to be eroded.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The poor dude who invented that spreadsheet sold for $500.
Which spreadsheet?
The Michael Who?
How does who?
Michael that
Oh, him. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
one guy,
Oh,
yeah. That one scientist, yeah.
oh hello. I just looked up the Himalayas. According to National Geographic, the Himalayas grow and shrink in cycles. They breathe.
They breathe.
They go up and down. The description says, yeah, even as mountains rise, they also periodically sink back down when the stress from tectonic collisions triggers earthquakes. So there you go. Mountains can shrink in size, and then at some point they'll grow in size again.
There you go, Shike. Sorted.
That's complicated. Can we just keep it flat?
Is
Sorry.
Is that had to do anything to density? Like due to density?
Not really. You see, the problem is that the planet we're on is in itself a dynamic system. It's not just a ball of rock that sits there and hangs in space and does nothing. You know, there are things happening all the time. You know, that's why, yeah, we get volcanoes and earthquakes and all manner of things, because deep inside the Earth, everything's still hot and moving. And we're sitting on a crust that's floating on top of all that, and it's moving very, very slowly, mind you. Yeah, it's not like you can look out and go, oh, look, our continent's just grown another 2 foot. You know, it's a very, very slow process, but it is all moving. And has been since the start. Since there was a planet, I guess.
How about quality? Have anybody proposed quality? F as for F
Full-ity
yes,
as
foul,
opposed to
yeah.
gravity. I'm sure
quality.
somebody somewhere has suggested that is an alternative for gravity. But you're just calling the same thing by a different name. Yeah, you could call it Jeff. Why do things fall? Ah, Jeff.
Damn you, Jeff.
Damn you, Jeff. Jeff sucks. Really. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Obviously, gravity is just the name we give to it. They could easily call it something else.
Okay.
Yeah,
But actually,
gravity has more. Dare I say, it has more gravitas.
I get on my
but
flip flops.
Jeff is
for the moment.
sorry.
You go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say Jeff is actually a really cool guy, because I heard somewhere that we cannot give birth. Or a pregnant woman will have a lot of problems if she's in gestation with no gravity. Like, we cannot have babies in space.
Oh God, yeah.
It messes with the growing of the fetus.
I bet it. Yeah, I bet it would as well. Yeah, because of course nobody's actually tried it yet. And yeah, for very good reason. Yeah. Well, I mean,
Sorry,
if you have
Jeff.
trouble using the toilet in space, you know, in free fall, then yeah, imagine the complications if you're pregnant. Yeah.
Well, that's Elon Musk's dream screwed up there, right there.
Oops.
No. See, he's just going to go to another planet. That's all.
Yeah.
He's not going to do it in space. He's just going to piss off to Mars and do it there, where it has got gravity, albeit not much, but it's got some.
Okay, I was wearing my tennis shoes, but I got comfortable and I put my flip flops on. So if let me do this let me process what I had to say, so to make a coherent argument here. Let me turn on my camera here. Serious face. Game faces. If the Earth was flat, things will fall down to the Earth. They will accelerate at certain velocity, and that is on flat Earth what I call gravity. Thank you very much.
But that is a very common flat earther argument, is that what we see works because they believe it's a flat Earth, and as it works, therefore it must work on a flat Earth.
No, it works. It works how it works on a flat Earth.
How?
It's gravity. How what? What do you want to know about it?
How I think okay. So the Earth is flat, presuming it's of a limited thickness, unspecified at this point. Why are things falling down and not up?
Because there's something going on very far away that I call it the bending of space-time, right? And then that is kind of in the bigger scale, but in the small scale over here to the Earth, it's like mass attract mass. The Earth is really big and it just attracts things to the ground. That's what we call gravity on a flat Earth. Go ahead. Any other questions?
No, but I might be too tired for this game.
Come on, anybody else? Come on, Chike. Chike, you got me, Chike. Go ahead. Play with me, Chike.
Oh, come on, Chike. You were all up for it earlier on.
Luis, go ahead. What you got? What do you think? Any clarifications? That's it. That's my point. I mean, there's no mysteries behind it.
For that
Anything
to
else?
work, and for all downs to be the same direction, you need an attractor that is either a plane or so far away, exactly like the sun. Like the great attractor would be so far away that actually we do not deviate over even over large distances, and so gravity is still the same for everyone, even on a flat Earth. That's the best I can do.
So you disagree that mass attracts mass on a flat Earth? And then very high up in the sky, and then there's something that I can call it on a flat Earth, the warp of space-time and all the theory of relativity. It works on a flat Earth. It's a flat Earth evidence, all of that good stuff. You haven't told me anything about the shape. You haven't told me anything because it works on a flat Earth. That's it. It just works. Mass
Well,
attracts
surely
mass.
it would depend on the overall shape of the flat Earth. Is it a pizza, or are we living on the top of a cylinder?
No, that's for another topic. I'm talking about the forces that what we stick to the ground or that.
Talk about cylinders. Did you know that worlds in video games, all of them that have rectangle maps, they actually live in Taurus's planet. Planet shaped in a Taurus.
There's a question that I thought anybody was going to ask, and Zeb Tepi asked the question. Anybody want to read it?
Oh, yes. If mass attracts mass on a flat Earth, where is the center of mass of the flat Earth?
Why are you asking for a center of mass? It doesn't have to be a center of mass. You're presupposing that there is a center of mass.
And we suppose that mass does attract mass, but we have a planet so massive that the center tends to be the angle to the center tends to be the same all across Earth. That's the weird theory of flat Earth with all the continents beyond the ice wall and all that. This is what I have.
But why do you have to think it has to be a planet even so big that you can't perceive it? I mean, why does it have to be a planet, a spherical object in the sky? Why?
I didn't say planet.
No,
I was still on my pizza thing.
Okay. What is that sitting down? I mean, I guess that's on a unknown. It's just a plane, whatever it is, so big that it's just so universally unreachable. You know, it's like the universe on the globe, very big and far beyond.
Yeah, the great attractor would have to be very big and very far away, very far down, to work like that, so that you do not notice a difference in vertical as you go along the Earth. That's the only solution I have for that. But then you will
But
have
why?
to explain.
So
You will
thinking
have to
it's a
explain the
core.
drop.
You're thinking it's a core in a specific spot, and that's what's emanating this energy to attract things. That's what you're imagining. One item in the center of something.
Could be if
Oh yeah.
flat Earth floating above some big black hole below, far away enough. You can see the curve, can feel the curve of gravity.
Now you're bringing a bunch of fantasy over here, black holes and stuff.
That's what he
Yeah.
said. Said the great attractor. What greater attractor we know than black hole?
I was going along with another kind of great attractor. I was playing along with Jose's theory. You came in the middle. I was trying to play the role of the flat earther for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I understand. So
Oh, sorry.
what your great attractor, the black hole is a classic great attractor. You can be very far away from it and still feel its gravity pretty strong.
Yes. Absolutely.
What is this great attractor? What is it? Is it like I have watched Lord of the Rings. Now, when you mention, I cannot unthink when people going in a boat, they're going to this great light that is, whoa! That's the great attractor to me, like a big light in the sky that you will disappear and whatever happens to you.
I have no explanation for that.
How can I visualize that? Is there can I visualize the great attractor? Like, because I can visualize a core center point that pull the mass to a specific point, and you think on a flat Earth is gonna be, make this triangular shape and pull everything to the sides and shit,
But there's no gravity on flat Earth anyway.
Yes, there is gravity. I call it
No.
gravity.
Who
It's a mass
said?
attracts
Who said?
mass. Me, I
Who
do.
said?
I do.
Are you not flat earther?
But
You
come on,
You
man. Are you
strawmanning.
playing? You don't want to play with me? Are you afraid of the argument?
Look, I'm not afraid of the argument.
Well,
It's
let's
strawmanning.
let's get the argument. Come on. Why
Straw
strawman?
man.
Why do you call
Because you're strawmanning.
Why? Tell me. Clarify.
Why you strawman? Because there's no gravity on flat Earth. There is a relative density disequilibrium. You can't force them
No.
to say.
That's
Well,
not a
if you
strawman.
well,
It's
they
an
don't
argument.
agree. There's no gravity.
So
Who you
you're afraid
arguing
of
with?
the argument.
Who
So you're
do you
afraid
argue?
of new ideas.
No,
right?
that's not afraid of the argument. That's
Of new
it's
ideas.
You making a strawman, you argue against yourself. That's just like a Nathan Oakley does.
And
He
can
says
you
what we say that we don't say, and then he debunks it.
win an argument against a strawman?
You can win it because you made the strawman.
But I'm asking you.
I'm not making strawmans ever.
So can you win an argument even if I'm strong strawman? Can you win the argument?
I can.
Can you
I'm
attempt
telling you,
to argue?
there's no gravity.
Well, then that makes you also a flat earther. That makes you 100. That makes you a
Right,
flat earther.
right.
You're proposing that idea.
If I need to represent the flat Earth, I'll bring flat Earth arguments.
Perfect. Now, I wanted to talk about somebody that think they live on a globe, right? It's Nestle. What you got? Mass attracts mass on a flat earth. And we call it gravity.
And it doesn't work on a flat Earth
Why it doesn't work?
because gravity forces everything into a sphere. Anything else floating in space, it forces it into a sphere. You can't have a flat Earth. You can't have a flat object in space.
Now, in a small scale, when you're very high in the earth, you can throw a little water and grains and little powder and stuff, and it kind of forms into spheres. What? So you can from a small scale like that, doing a little water bubbles in a station in the space, right? Now you want to make that into planets and where everybody lives. You're taking a big leap of faith. So I can say that therefore everybody's a flat earther because you grab a cup of water, very still, and it's just the straight thing. You got the little all the little phenomena around the tensions and shit. But you got a flat water. Now you put that really big. Welcome to flat Earth, I guess. If you're telling me that everything becomes, you know, I
Well,
can
no,
do on a flat side. You can do bigger tests. You can move from a cup to the toilet, and then to the sink, and to a small pool in your house, a bigger pool, a big lake. You can do that, but in space, more than a liter or a gallon of water, let's say, that you throw in this station to form balls. Where else can this be tested in the bigger scale, guys?
well, it can be tested in space.
To what magnitude? To what size? How did
Well, it
it
depends
scale
on
that?
it depends on size of the space station, how much room you have. Like, I mean,
What do you think is the biggest scale they have done at this test?
I'm sure somebody's done a cup of water experiment where they kind of let the water out of the cup or whatever. Just it always forms a ball, always forms a sphere.
So you gotta you gotta go very far away from the Earth in order to do this test with a gallon of water. I'm exaggerating. A big pitcher of water, and over here on Earth, I can show you how the test works perfectly to the big scale. And I don't
Yeah,
know.
but you're on Earth, which is a bigger sphere.
That's the imagination kicking in. You're calling it a sphere. That's what the imagination comes in.
Yeah, I don't really like you, Flip Flop.
Why? Pain as a shield. Mass attracts mass. What do you have to imagine like a center point of pulling everything? Like you guys think the center of the Earth kind of had to do anything about with gravity?
I have a hard time imagining it as anything other than a point.
Well,
It's
it's not
just
really the point. Everything
no.
attracts everything.
Yeah,
It's easier to
I know.
calculate at the point.
I'm not really attracted to the center of the Earth. I'm attracted to all parts of the
Yeah.
Earth simultaneously, and when they all combine, when you all add them up, they you can more or less project them as if I was pulled towards a certain point.
And we just
Down.
use the
pull
center of the
down.
Earth just because it's a whole lot easier to calculate than to calculate every single atom and particle. What the hell is
But-
that?
There's nothing
But who
different.
knows?
You'll be pulled down, straight down to plumb. You put a plumb where the plumb is going. You throw trillions of plums
That's-
around, and that's where gravity goes. That's
That's
it.
the
It's
resultant.
all in the surface to the big surface of the Earth.
That's the resultant.
And it doesn't have to be even. It doesn't have to form a perfect sphere, because you can have like one size of the Earth being a little heavier than the other.
Yeah, it's down to the surface of the Earth. That's for the big scale,
Uh-huh.
the big massive plane of the Earth, and everything is being pulled down, plumb straight to that plane of the Earth. It's like a sheet. Like you open it up. You're thinking about a ball of aluminum foil, and then I want to open the aluminum foil, and that's where gravity is. Well, the center. The pull of gravity goes to the aluminum foil. Do you want to make it into a ball? That's up to you. We're gonna keep it straight the way it is. Better to illustrate. My vision. Does it work, NASA, like that? Can it work? Will it work? Gary concurs. He said, "Well, if my theory is incorrect about what I think about flat Earth, then I can get on board of Jose's gravity."
The center thing is just like again, it's the resultant of all the particles pulling. Every single particle pulls, and it's easier to calculate that as one point rather than a bazillion single points. So when you say that gravity pulls us to the center of the Earth, yeah, kinda okay. That's the end result.
All right, we have a kind of Luis.
Huh?
Well, see, these things.
I agree.
The problem with
I
flat
agree.
earthers, the problem with flat earthers is, and science deniers in general, is that they have problems with concepts that are not as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, they will bring the argument that why can I not, like in a laboratory, have a mass that attracts me enough that I can notice it? Well, because you're next to the Earth that is pulling you so much more that and any measurement. Well, not if you do the Cavendish experiment, which tries to cancel every other variables and tries to do it to its best effort, but you are attracted to the cup that is in front of you when you're drinking coffee, but you don't notice it. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist, but you cannot reproduce it, and you cannot have like you really need to set up like a very hard experiment to show that and explain that to people who will simply say, well, it's next to nothing. Yeah, it's next to nothing. It's normal.
Well,
To show
that's
what?
that's the
To show
brilliance of the
what?
Cavendish, is that he figured out how to isolate, to get the sideways force so that the downward force cancel each other out.
Yeah, props to the guy.
So things don't just fall to the ground. Plum, following plum. If you put a plum, anything that you throw along that plum is gonna fall straight down, right, to the earth, because it's a bigger mass. It's a big chunk
Well,
of dirt that we're standing on.
From your frame of reference, staying on the Earth, yes. From
Yes.
the thing you drop's
What?
frame of reference is it's standing still in space while the Earth rushes up toward it.
Now your imagination kicked in out of nowhere there. You made
No,
big,
I mean it's
big.
true. I mean, from the perspective of the falling apple, it's standing still in space time, and the Earth is rushing up toward it.
Whatever, that's fantasy, man.
See, frame of reference is another issue. Fathers, there's how.
Jose, if you're dropped above the moon, yes, there's no air there, you don't feel the wind, you see the moon coming towards you, you don't feel any acceleration. So, who's doing what?
I don't think that's possible to make, but if I want to play make believe and think about what could happen.
You don't think you can be dropped above the moon?
No, I don't think that's possible. None of that. Yeah,
Well,
not
we'll
going.
see.
They're going to the moon part. Yeah.
Well, not this year, but eventually they will.
So I cannot. I can play as if make believe. I can talk about what do I think it. I can speculate. You want to?
Okay, let's not go to the moon. If you go up to your roof, you take a jump. You don't feel anything. You're not being pulled down or pushed down or whatever, but you see the Earth suddenly moving towards you until you hit it.
Whoa! Yeah, that's crazy. Pain as a shield. What the hell, man? That's scary. Shit.
It's not that scary. It's just a different way of thinking. That's all.
A helicopter takes off, and you gotta keep hauling ass because as the helicopter is lifting up, you say, "Oh, whoa, I'm going nowhere," and you're getting very little separation. You gotta haul ass in the helicopter to you so you can separate, though the earth will catch you up to you. I think that's the way it works. Things go very fast up, or the earth will catch you.
What, like it's chasing you?
Yes. It is chasing. That's not me.
No,
That's not what I believe. That's what I think they.
I thought it was
That's
the
what I
moon
believe
that
they
crept
think.
up on you.
Not that part, no. I have heard globe earthers talking about the Earth accelerating and moving up, whatever. I don't know, man.
Oh, that dumb argument hasn't been around for years. Because that means it'd be constantly accelerating.
No, the Earth is not accelerating. The surface of the Earth is, but not the Earth.
Water. If I make a layer of water, hot and cold, which one is heavier or go down denser? We're done with gravity. Anybody?
Cold water is denser than hot water.
Hello,
Same there.
Hello, Stephanie Nelson. Are you new? I am new too. Welcome to the show. So, Farmer Boy, one more time. Hot, stay up, you say? Go down.
Hotter things, certainly when it comes to liquids, and of course air is a liquid.
Heavier. It's heavier.
No, hotter is less dense. Colder is more dense.
Okay. So colder. So if you throw a couple layers, you find the cold water in the bottom and the hot in the top.
You could do, yeah.
With the exception of water under 4 Celsius.
Under what?
What's that, Shai?
4 Celsius.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because water's got all these weird properties, hasn't it? But yeah, generally, and then it's just the same. That's why cars with turbochargers tend to have intercoolers. It's there to cool down the air that's then going to go through the turbocharger, and the cooler it is, the more dense it is. The denser it is, the more oxygen it has in it, and the better burn that you get.
So I have somebody did that. Somebody did. I was surprised because I was like, damn, man. I don't know if I can take a video notification from Jesse channel, right? And I actually play this in the background and I watched it. Oh, we're gonna play it a little bit in the background. Well, there's no captions. I know he got this view over here, but I think this is the video, and he's gonna there's gonna be a fish tank involved over here. Skip forward. There you go. Yeah, little fish tank. And he's gonna do observations to look at the house as a reference to see what changes when you put cold water or water and refraction or whatever. So he did a couple really cool tests. He set it up. Okay, now look what he did. He put water. More than half. He measures the temperature. He covers it up, and he's gonna put now different water in the top. Now, what is cold and what is hot? Let me unmute him to hear what he say.
Hot and the cold separate while we pour it in. So go ahead and pour it in.
Hold on, don't forget a little bit back. Talk.
Okay, we've got the fish tank set up with the cold water in the bottom.
Okay.
And the plastic sack taped in here to keep the hot and the cold separate while we pour it in.
Okay. Yeah, so you see that?
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. Brilliant. And there you go. Hot water putting in, and the plastic is struggling to go down and mix up. Now it's gonna be cool because he's gonna be this is gonna be pulled. He's gonna pull that, and then you can see through the camera the division when it divides. The hot and cold. Really cool stuff. I go forward a little bit. If you guys aren't watching, I'm sharing that on the Discord screen share.
Good.
Listen to him struggling over here. Let's see. He's got a helper, Jesse.
Yeah, but I bet that's bloody fiddly and awkward to do.
Oh yeah. I'll share the video, the link in the YouTube, so you guys can give it a click and a watch and leave feedback from Jesse. All right, he did it. He did it. He's doing it. About time.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't want it to mix, does he?
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
You already see it. Look at that. Like for real. I'm gonna full screen it.
Ingredient which hasn't settled yet. So here's looking through the. Well, let's check our temperatures.
Just in case I gotta run.
Oh, let me turn up the brightness for that.
There you go. Looks better now.
So we got like 110. I don't know why it won't focus when it's. Oh well. Whoever invented autofocus was working on the Monday after a long Friday, I think. So like 110, 1909, now it's starting to drop.
It's going down. Big time. Very cold in the bottom. It's crazy, like 50 degrees difference. Top versus bottom. And you can see, look, it looks like thick, like a cloud, like a wavy cloud.
Well, I'll need you to help me mix it in a second.
Yeah.
through the top. It's homogeneous hot water. And so now you can see we're going down into different kind of layers, but they haven't all evened out yet. The bottom's pretty homogeneous.
Homo what?
Homogeneous.
Oh, okay. No, no swearing.
Say no homo here.
Yeah, no homo, no swearing. Chatu from Jesse. He does.
There's nothing wrong with homo. Homo means same.
Now this
No homo.
This thing that's happening and you're getting water layers is taken advantage of by the various navies of the world that have submarines.
Mm-hmm.
The oceans have many different layers in them. Sometimes it's to do with the salinity of the water. Quite often it's to do with the temperature. And submarines can do what they call going under the layer. And there are layers in the water, and if they go underneath a particular layer, they can screw up the sonar of ships looking for them.
Okay,
so you get this happens. This happens in all the seas and oceans of the world. You get these different layers of temperature.
Push it all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
And they use it to their advantage, or they try
Look at
to.
the mix. Look at when he mixing now. You can see the mix, the hot going down
the
to
cold.
the cold.
For a little while.
Yes.
This triggers my OCD. I want to stir it.
That's so cool, right? For real, man. It's cool.
And now that Farmer's Boys just told me that, I'm like, let's stir the ocean.
Yeah. He's taking his ass time. Look at that. Just looking through it. With
There are some layers. I've seen divers that have like heavy salt layers that won't mix, and they
Pull on and pull it out.
Oh yes, I've seen that. With down at the bottom of particular seas.
Yeah.
There's like lakes, and they're
lakes
right at the bottom. Yeah, and you get lakes, and they're much saltier. They're a much denser layer of water. Yeah, submarines use it to try and hide and screw up with the sonar. And ships that are looking for submarines, they will drop a probe over the side. What they call it, a bathyscope, I think it is, and it measures the temperature and the salinity of the various water layers as it drops through it. And of course, submarines already have the advantage. They know where the layers are because they're sailing through them rather than over the top of them.
All right, he gotta steer this shit up or something. Killing me too, man.
temperature or salinity?
I'm sorry?
What's the difference in these two layers? Temperature?
Temperature, yeah.
It's just temperature, yeah. He put cold water in the bottom of the tank, then he put the plastic sheet in, poured the hot water in, and then eventually
remove it carefully, yeah.
Got the plastic sheet out so that the two layers of water didn't mix up too much.
That's pretty cool.
And because the hot water is less dense than the cold water,
the hot water's on top, yeah.
Sit on the top. Yeah.
It'll eventually mix.
The temperatures will equalize, and
try the fitting.
You'll get transfer from hot to cold, and that's also
that.
why.
Look how he looked.
Oh, that was
how he
pretty
brought
cool.
the hot down. You see, these details are cool.
In large hot water cylinders where you're holding upwards of 1,000 liters of water plus, and these tend to be tall vertical cylinders, you have to have a pump that pumps the water between the bottom and the top of the cylinder, so that you don't get this stratification, and they are called D-strap pumps. So you're constantly circulating, so that the water's hot all the way through the cylinder. Because if you don't, after a while, you can get different layers of temperature. When you're drawing what you think is hot water, it might not be hot water.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so cool when they throw the objects and put the arm. Look at that, like attempting to mix, and you got all these scrambled,
Yeah, it could stay like that for quite
like an
some
old
time.
painting.
And, and
Like
it
an oil
can be a
painting.
problem in water systems. If you want it to be all the same temperature, you have to mix it up.
There you go. It's
Talking
happening. It's happening. The mix-up is happening.
about equilibrium, if the ocean are like they are right now, and they've been for a long time, let us assume we have the ability to stir them to a certain degree. Would they
Yeah.
naturally form that gradient again, that salinity gradient?
They could well do, yes. I mean, the temperature gradients is dependent on so many factors. The salinity tends to occur nearer the coast, because you've got rivers feeding into the sea, and they tend to they can have a lot of
Okay, now
minerals
just mix it up.
and whatnot in them, and that can create
Go from
layers.
the homogeneous.
Out in the deep ocean, you're generally looking at temperature gradients rather than anything else.
Makes sense.
But like everything else, the seas and oceans are very, they're constantly on the move.
Look, you see that? How it fixed by itself
Yeah, you've reached
when it mixed completely.
you've reached a good mixture.
It was distorted
It's,
until it found the
solid
mix
stable
there. It's
now.
already mixed point.
It was mesmerizing. I liked it.
that density gradient.
For real, man.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, now just mix it up.
You look at it, you listen to an adequate music, you can trip high.
Yeah, with shit like this, man.
No drugs needed.
Look at that continuous shot and the water when it mixes. Yeah, it just clears up.
More and more stable.
Watch that and put some Jean-Michel Jarre on. You'll be well away.
You've reached a good mixture. It's,
I don't drink, so.
solid stable now.
A little bit of Equinox or oxygen. You won't need anything. You'll just be off.
Mhm.
NASA, you like this video, right? You like that? It's cool.
Now let me check the temperatures.
Shout out to friend Jesse. Playing with water. The hell. Nothing special or nothing, but it actually is special. It's cool to see.
It's a very cool demonstration, isn't
I
it?
haven't seen it that clear, for down or
now it's
nothing.
80,
Haven't thought about it, before.
80, 80, 80, 80. Oops, 79.8.
Very cool.
Okay. So there you have it. Mixing it up gets rid of the gradient and the funny refraction.
Mixing it up, get rid of the grading and the funny refraction. Shout out to it. Temperature plays a big factor on refraction. I have always stated, and I think that's a fact. I mean, because if we talk in temperature, refraction happens usually very close to happens always close to the ground, the closest to the surface, and it's water versus whatever, the air. When the water and the air, or the dirt, the whatever, desert and the air touches, fine, that's what the biggest refraction happen, because usually they're two different temperatures. One is hotter than the other. Agree or disagree on what you think?
Oh no, you're right. Yeah. Refraction is caused by differences in temperature, mainly.
Wind.
And of course, the greatest refraction effects you'll get will be close to the ground, or actually close to a body of water. So yes, let's go out with your trusty P900 and take photos 2 feet off the water, and then go, oh look, it's a mess. Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. And
Worst
then
place to take bloody photos.
I thought the wind played a big factor. It plays a factor, but if there's a little bit of a breeze or wind, it is like more clear. The mirages, even if it's a mirage going on, a refraction going on, it's more clear, the visuals, than if it was no air, because then you get a waviness effect when there's no air. You get it dancing left and right, or doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
I suppose if there's a breeze, that's affecting the temperature.
Like the breeze washes that up a little bit, that wavy effect, yeah. Good times, man. Who invented cameras? It's a genius. Like, kiss their hands.
I can't remember.
Let's say, I don't know, Bill Clinton, to give it a name.
Wasn't his name Nikon?
Well, Nikon, yeah. Peter Nikon.
Yeah.
Peter Nikon.
Peter Nikon. I like that. Yeah, Peter Nikon. Yeah.
Peter Nikon. Peter is a genius. And he had a lot of big fights.
And his mate, Jimmy Kodak.
Yeah, Jimmy Kodak, yeah. And his big foe was Mr. Cannon. Mr. Cano,
Oh,
he
yeah.
was always pissed about.
Oh,
Peter.
they never got on, did they? They're always fighting each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like kids.
Indeed, indeed. All right, we're gonna get out of here early today. Thank you very much,
Cool.
everybody, for watching. It was a fun, entertaining show. Thank you, farmers. Thank you, Jomongos, for the hitting me up on PayPal, big time. Shout out to
You're
Leo,
very welcome.
big super chats. Yeah, Leo too, big support, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you to all of you over here participating in the today's festivities in voice chat on Discord. Make sure to leave a comment, share the show, hit the like, do some final thoughts. I got a visitor here, so I'm gonna leave the show open until further advice. You got 2 or 3 minutes for final thoughts, everybody.
It's not flat. Still. There you go. You don't all share it at once.
Share the show, hit a like, do some
Give up.
Well, I find some masses more attractive than other masses. So personal.
That's
I don't know where this is going.
That's a good point. Yeah, some masses are definitely more attractive than others. Yeah, yeah.
Right, in the center of mass, what you know what I'm talking about, right? It's not what
I
general
suspect
meaning.
yes. I suspect I might know which road this is going down. Yeah.
No, it's not going there. That's what I
Oh dear.
I'm not going to elaborate.
Good. Good. We'll leave that to let's leave that down to audience interpretation, shall we say?
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Probably
like
the wisest thing.
if you write good books and everyone can imagine it differently, don't all do the same. And the movie sucks, of course, after all.
Of course. Yes. That's the big mistake. Oh, there's a film coming out. It's based on a book. Oh, I'll go and read the book first. Oh, shit.
No, the problem is when you already read the book and then comes the film, and
Oh, yes.
you can't undo the reading. It's like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
The movie wasn't it.
Well, that's the advantage of watching the movie first. I liked the movie, and I think I'm going to enjoy the book even more based on what you say. And I think because of the order of watching and reading, I think I will still have a little bit of nostalgia for the movie. So it's all for the best.
Yeah, the problem I'd had was I do vaguely remember hearing some of the radio series because before anything else, it was a radio series. Then he wrote the books.
It's on again. Radio 4 Extra.
Oh, is it? Is it? And then the
Yep.
BBC actually did a series which covered, I don't know, the first book and a half, maybe. And that was in the early 80s. And that was that still. It looks old now. It hasn't aged very well, but it's still very good. Then he carried on writing more of the trilogy. I think the trilogy ended up in what, 6 parts? Was it 5? And of course we have that film.
There's contradiction in terms here.
What, a trilogy in 5 parts?
Trilogy, yeah.
Yes.
A technical whatever.
What is it? A pentalogy then?
Well, no, it's a trilogy. It's just got more than 3 books. That's all.
Yeah, but what would you use as a word to if there was such a thing as a five?
I don't know, but of course the joke was it was going to be a trilogy, and then he just kept writing.
Yeah, no, it's not a pentalogy. It's because if it's 4, it's not a tetralogy. It's a quadrilogy. So
Yes.
Because it's not tree from Greek, it's tree from Latin.
Well, it just ends up becoming a series, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the film, although it was good, of course, I'd been a fan for a very long time. So you've heard the radio plays, you've read the books, you've seen the BBC series, and then they make a film of it, and they start making stuff up for it, and it's like, why? Why didn't you just use the original source material? I don't get me wrong. It's still a funny film. It's still a good film, but I came away from that thinking, yeah, there's so much stuff you could have used, and you just went and made some more stuff up.
What we're talking about, by the way?
Hitchhikers.
No, Hitchhikers.
Could do better.
With only one film,
Guide to the Galaxy.
and he
Primary phase.
he was very excited about the film because I don't know, he found it accurate to the source, but that's him. That's not me. I don't have to agree with him.
Thank you, guys.
He died.
Are we done?
Unfortunately, he died before the film was finished.
Thank you, guys, for coming in. Everybody, have a good one. Peace out. Boom.